lot of people keep diaries or journals just to kind of keep track of things that are going on in their life. I think probably maybe in my teens I started writing in journals, and typically it would be, a prayer journal or just kind of different experiences, ideas, whatever it might be. And down in my office on my shelf, I have probably like a dozen journals that I've just collected over the years and I've written different things in. And it's kind of cool to go back and look at the different times I've been through, the experiences. One of the things I remember years ago was, I think it was America Online had a commercial, and that's actually, if you don't know, it's an internet provider, an email provider from years ago when there was dial-up. If you don't know what dial-up is, just go look it up. And so they didn't really say a whole lot in this commercial, but you kind of figured out by the end that it was a parent writing emails to their child as they were growing up. And I loved this idea. And so at that time, I think our first daughter, was probably 6 years old, something like that. And so I created an email address for her and started writing letters to her. And it ended up being, over the years, maybe one a month or one every couple months. And it would be birthdays or difficult times she went through, celebrations and accomplishments. So then I have 3 kids, and so I also set up email accounts for my other kids as they were born. And well, all this is really in part the reason why I decided I wanted to start this vlog. And I wish I had done it years ago, but honestly the technology wasn't around. I remember, maybe it was 10 years ago, getting our first digital camera, and it was like a 2.2 megapixel Sony camera. We're like, holy cow, nobody knew what a megapixel was, but we were like, wow, that sounds really high. And then a few years later, there's a 3.0 megapixel camera, and it's just like, oh my gosh, that's got to be so clear. And now I have no idea what they're up to, 30 or 40 or 4K and whatever. Cameras are really clear. Technology has come a long way, and so now is really a great time to be starting a vlog. And I'm a little bit older in life, but I'm like, you know what? This is still a nice thing to be able to pass on to my kids and my grandkids. Maybe have some wisdom in there and different experiences and things that I went through, maybe so they won't make the same mistakes, or just kind of seeing what life was like here in Pennsylvania during this time. So that is the number one reason why I wanted to start a vlog. Number 2 is just over the past maybe 3 or 4 years, I've really enjoyed the whole creative process of putting together a video, going into Premiere Pro, which is what I usually use. Now I've gotten a bunch of plugins as well and learned different things just from watching videos. And so just the whole process of creating a video and bringing it to an end is just really enjoyable for me to kind of make that finished product. And I know right now I'm still in the very beginning stages of that. And so I'm just kind of excited to see over the years like how I get better at the whole creative process. I just recently took a Strengths Finder test or quiz to try to figure out what my strengths were, and one of them is focus, one of them is achiever, one of them is competition. And so it's interesting because I really strive to be the best at something, and I definitely don't think I'm going to be better than any of the people that I admire and watch, but I do want to be the best that I can possibly be. And so I kind of have that push and that drive in me to do the best possible work, even just in a hobby that I'm doing. And then the third reason, which is probably true for everybody, for some people it's the top priority, which I don't think is a good idea, but for me it's third on the list, and I hope that maybe this will become a source of some kind of income someday. So I've been the executive director at Center for Champions for 8 years. I plan on being there hopefully at least 7 more years, so 15 years in total. At that point I won't really be retirement age yet, and so it would be great to be able to make some income off of what I'm doing, something I enjoy, and then just maybe travel and do more videos and maybe make it a source of some kind of revenue. But if that doesn't happen, I certainly won't be disappointed, because like I said, I love the process and I'll have something to pass on to my kids and my grandkids. So if you don't vlog, I certainly encourage it. You can obviously just do it on a phone. You don't need to have a decent camera, and I just kind of have a middle of the line camera, and it seems to do the job pretty well. I do kind of hope to upgrade over time, but anything will work just to kind of start making videos and post them up on YouTube or put them on a drive and hand them off to people in the future. So I will tell you one thing about this whole process, and I'm actually thinking maybe I'll make another video with a little more detail about this, but most of us when we're kids, we want to be a pro athlete, we want to be a pop star or whatever. We kind of have this big dream of fame. I do feel a little bit weird, especially at my age, starting a vlog and trying to create a channel, because it does feel a little bit like a pop star sort of dream. But you know what? Also, when you get to be my age, you don't really care so much what other people think. And it is a great test of my confidence and courage, and seeing if I can actually do this without feeling awkward about it. So yeah, I encourage you to check it out, to try it out. And, especially if you have kids or are hoping to have kids, I think it'll just be a great thing to be able to hand off to them in the future.